All right. Hey, Max, I know that FF7 Remake demo just came out, and you've been watching a bunch of speedrunners run the game, so you were inspired, and this is your best run so far, so we're going to kind of talk over some of it, maybe not all of it. You're going to give us some insight in terms of like what you're doing or like what you're trying to accomplish, and I might ask some questions.
Yeah, I'm not a professional speedrunner, but I've been enjoying watching other people's speedruns like in AGDQ, and so I got inspired to kind of make my own run off of this.
Freeze! Move and we shoot!
So a lot of this is kind of thinking about animation cancels and trying to figure out what's the best way to kill both enemies at once. I've seen a couple people do it different ways, like doing the Punisher stance and kind of hitting that like wide area range attack, but I kind of like just doing one at a time. Obviously, there's going to be much better ways coming in the next couple of months of people figuring out the best tactics.
Gotcha. And it looks like you skipped those guys. I'm guessing rolling's better in this case, or?
Yeah, when you're in a battle, you kind of run slower, it seems like. So just rolling kind of negates that speed reduction.
Really enjoy to work with them.
Load times.
Yeah, you got to just figure out which part of the cutscene and when you just hit skip as fast as possible. Get some Final Fantasy 15 camera flashbacks right now. It gets kind of rough sometimes.
What are you doing here?
Wedge just decided not to show up, and that happens a lot. I've actually like had multiple runs where he just doesn't appear, and then you just have to like run around in circles to try and trigger him to come out.
Okay.
Just super annoying. But
I thought you were saving time there.
No, I wish. That was just
losing time.
Yeah, just seconds lost for sure. And right here, there's just two triggers. One to get near them to like have Jesse start cutting, and then the second one to have Biggs start talking to you. You can't really do anything in between then.
So nothing to save here, basically.
Nah, you just gotta wait it out.
So is there anything here, like you know how you were able to kill the first two guys so fast? Was there any like trick for this part, or is this kind of just kill them as fast as you can?
As of right now that I've figured out, just kill them as fast as possible. I know that, yeah, like I said before, like within a month, like people will figure out like, oh, if you time your stance right here perfectly and hit them both at the exact same time, you like kill them both, really quickly. But as of right now, I'm just trying to get the stagger as fast as possible and just go on to the next guy. And that last hit, after it knocks him up in the air, you can like roll after that, so you can just kind of like keep going as fast as possible.
Little tricks here and there.
Couple little time-saving tricks here and there.
You know what to do. Now go. See you later.
Come on, Cloud.
Pick up the pace.
Oh, I think you were telling me how like you were trying to run here, but then like it's kind of like buggy or something. I don't want to use that word necessarily, I guess, because it is a demo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's buggy per se. I think there's just a couple parts where it just like allows you to run and doesn't allow you to run, and just kind of it makes Cloud's running just inconsistent, so it's really irritating. But this part, they're all together. Just switch to Punisher stance and just wail at them pretty quickly. After like a final attack, you have a long delay, so sometimes you just want to cast a spell just to kill the next guy as fast as possible to not like sit there for so long.
And I'm guessing you ran at that angle because it's like the best way to kind of get to the next part, or?
Yeah, there's just been a couple parts where like Jessie just doesn't let me talk to her, so I just like to hit that angle specifically because that's the fastest. There's gonna be a lot of these loading screens.
I know.
Gonna throw your sword at him? Let the man with the gun go to work.
So right here, overcharge is great with Barret because you can get 1 bar of ATB really quickly, so you can do something else after. So it's a great way to like combo into the next skill, and that takes out 1 sentry turret immediately. So 2 are down already. I just kind of screwed up this last one though because I just wasn't paying attention very well.
It's all right. I mean, you do so many runs, you just try to like be like maximize your efficiency as much as possible. But you know, it's not like you said. It's not like you're a professional speedrunner. You just enjoy it, right?
Yeah, I like doing it for fun, not a professional by any means.
Enough. All done.
Cocky little bastard, ain't you?
So right here, there's a couple patterns that these lasers go away, and I got like the best pattern where I just run straight through and they all go away at the exact same time. I got pretty mad because this one,
Oh no!
I clipped like my heel.
So I wonder what I mean. I don't know if this would have saved you, but I saw you did run into Jesse ever so slightly, and I wonder if that might have like caused you to get clipped there.
So actually, there the very last beam, there's like a little bit of leeway to the right where I can like time when I can go in, and I went over to the right thinking that it would be delayed, but it went up immediately. So I screwed myself on that.
I noticed you haven't used magic yet on the sweeper, even though the game itself is telling you to use magic.
Yeah, I used it once. It might have been the bad call or maybe just my personal preference, but I'm trying to save magic on Barret because the next boss battle I need to hit Thunder as much as possible. So, and you're gonna get a stagger anyways at this point, so you might as well just save that magic for the big boss battle coming.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
So long. Now's our chance.
This is. Give him what's coming to him.
Yeah, the system behind like switching characters in this game is just super fun.
What are you, 20-something?
First.
And right here, like you cannot do anything for the next 10 seconds, so we might as well just heal up.
Optimal time to heal.
Yeah.
Age, not your goddamn rank.
Come on, Jesse.
She's really holding us up, though. In all
she
honesty.
is.
Guess that makes you a 1-year-old, huh? Live and learn.
Let's get down there.
Alright, so now we're going towards the reactor core. This part, you just gotta play shoots and ladders for a while and just run as fast as possible.
I mean, at least you have like the means to like do like the quicker, kind of like Dark Souls-y, like, you know, hold it and you can go down faster.
Thank God, because yeah, just walking down those ladders would have been very, very annoying.
Okay, skippable enemies, I guess.
Yeah, so you don't have to fight this fight. Normally you don't get hit here, and that was like one of the first times I've gotten hit. So that was great. And then I suck at platformers, obviously, as you can see.
It's okay.
That was a little embarrassing.
It was probably like the nerves of like, how the hell did I get hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
Now we're at the Scorpion fight. This gets interesting because this first intro, you can do really quickly one attack, go to stance, and then counter. Just gives you enough time to do that, so it's like a maximum amount of damage. And you just wail on them for as much as you can. Obviously, this is when you want to start using Thunder as much as possible. Just like in the original.
Keep it up. Deal with that.
I'm really bad at managing mana and ATB, so a couple times I'll just pull up the menu thinking I have enough mana or enough ATB, and I just don't because I've only had a day or so with the game.
And you're speedrunning it already. That's pretty impressive.
Or at least trying to.
Yeah.
This part's there's a nice trick here where if you R3 lock onto them and do one attack, it'll do a dash, and then you can roll after that. So you can just really quickly get across that bridge, just save you at least a couple seconds, which is nice.
So what's your brilliant plan, genius?
It's my time to shine.
Or go down in flames.
I feel like if there's a whole bunch of like menu selecting that I say there's like 10 instances of menu selecting that I just screwed up. If I just made those right decisions at the right time, I feel like I would have definitely saved like 30 seconds at least.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the cool thing about, you know, even being interested in speedrunning, you know, is that you can always watch the footage back, right? And then you can see where you're not optimal and then try to make it more optimal. and that's what's fascinating, I think. And then just also all the other like tricks people start to either come up with or that you come up with that you share, like even that dashing, you know, probably saves seconds, right?
I'm pretty sure, like I said before, like a month from now, it's gonna be like 10 minutes demo speedrun. They're like clipping through walls and flying through the air and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's always impressed me what, you know, the folks can do speedrunning just because of all the like different tricks and things that they do and just how optimal they are. You know, sans any like RNG. And then it's always cool when they're like, oh, like the RNG was like not in my favor, or like the RNG on this part is like really bad. Oh, we got the best RNG though, you know, and they're like super hyped, like the laser instance for you earlier. So is there any like tricks on this boss other than maybe some of the stuff you said earlier with like, you know, trying to like get over to them faster?
I think besides like the very first part and like the dashing part, I don't really have any. I'm just wailing on him at this point, and I know it's not optimal for a speed run. I know there's gonna be more tactics later on, which I want to try. Maybe more magic, or like trying to get like ATB farming somehow, because I feel like I just wasn't getting enough meter very quickly. But yeah, just using thunder, like trying to attack him when he's out of sight or not attacking you. Like when he's on the wall, just using Barret to shoot him instead of just sitting there and wasting time is, you know, always useful. Just making the most of your time and doing as much damage. You usually, even like if it's not necessarily like a weak spot to hit the scorpion from behind, but it's just like he's not targeting you and he has to like physically turn around to do some attacks. So it just makes it easier for you to not get hit, except for his AoE attacks like that.
And like that's one of those things where I wonder, it's like, are you better off, you know, like staying there and continuing to do DPS, or is it better just to take the hit and then get back up? You know, like that's the stuff that I'm sure people will figure out over time. But
I think because there's not a lot of animation cancels in this, which they did on purpose, because it would just be broken if you just like block immediately after attacking. Yeah, you have to really think about when you're attacking and when to stop attacking. So you're really committing, like, especially in Punisher stance, like that animation is super long. So if you're starting to attack and he's starting to attack you, then you just gotta suck it up and, and take the hit.
Bring it home!
I got you. Strike now, before it fires again.
Guess it's my turn! That thunder I hear?
So this is the last stage. He goes berserk, and there are a couple ways to do this. You can take out the legs first, but I opted to, because I've done a couple runs where you can take out the legs first and then attack the body, but it seemed like it wasn't worth it, so I just attacked the main body this time and see if I could just power through it, even though he does heal. It might have been a bad call, but you know, it's worth experimenting more if I wanted to like try and do this again later.
well, I mean, in a way, you basically are experimenting already, right?
Right.
Because like you said, you did try the legs, and this is your, you know, potential answer to that, right? That it kind of didn't feel worth it, so you might as well just try this. And you know, it's hard to say if this is why you might have got your most optimal run, you know, but it might have helped.
I think next time I'll think about how to get the limit break faster, because this time usually you get your limit break cross slash by the third form, and it's still like, you know, almost at the very end of the last form. I still haven't had his limit break yet, which is really strange. That was the first time it happened. So now I finally get it. So like at this point he's dead. But this could have been done a lot faster if I got my limit break faster.
You're out of luck.
Or like you comboed into it.
Yeah. Then I mistimed my skip.
Oh, there was a skip there?
As soon as the head appears, then you can skip past that, but I pressed too early.
Wedge should be covering our way out. Go, go, go!
You're gonna need to heal up a little bit before getting into this next area, because you're just gonna have to take some hits from the shock troopers.
Okay, gotcha. I was actually just about to ask that because,
Yeah.
like, don't you just want to get out of dodge here, get out of the reactor? But it makes sense, obviously.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take some hits, and if you're at low health, then you're just gonna die, and the run's dead. So you have to heal a little bit.
Not bad.
Dang, too bad you can't do that while running.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to heal and move at the same time.
You okay?
Don't worry, Jesse. You're gonna be saved.
You're fine.
Should lead us straight to Barret. Probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of cutscene timing memorization,
I think I see an exit.
seeing like when they appear and when to time the cutscene. Because some of them like are pretty obvious, where it's like cuts to Jesse, and some of them are not as obvious because the cutscenes are very fluid in this game, where it kind of like rolls into like the next cutscene, and sometimes it's really hard to tell when to skip it. So you just gotta like mess around and do a couple runs to see when it's skippable. Just mash the start button and see when it's available.
Shut up and climb. You're not helping.
Sorry, it keeps me
I
focused.
like how you're clipping through Jesse's legs.
Yeah.
It's also funny that Barret found the better route.
Yeah, right?
You
Why
have
can't
to
they go
jump
this
down
way? Like, I actually mistimed that one. That could have been skipped, like,
sooner.
yeah, like half a second earlier. This part really sucked. I could have done this a ton faster. I should have targeted those guys last, because those mono drives usually start floating upwards like that a little bit later, so you want to hit them first. And then, of course, I'm getting like the FF15 camera things going on again, and that's lost me a lot of seconds.
Yeah, you don't get Noctis Warp in this one to kind of alleviate some of that.
Yeah, there's no real quick moving except for the R3 long distance dash attack. Yeah, you don't need to fight him. It's a waste of time.
Wow,
So you
just skipping a sweeper.
yeah, there's no point. Some battles like you literally have to fight in order to keep going, and other ones you can just run right past them.
It's interesting here though, like, so were you able to run just now? Because like I know you're
am.
roll canceling there. Like
Yeah.
I was curious why you didn't roll earlier. I guess I don't know if that matters.
I've had some inconsistencies with rolling where I'd like roll into something and then like it's just to play it safe. I've like roll into a wall and then like it's lost precious seconds like that. So here, so I go to the very end of the stage, take out the turrets that are going to just be wailing on me the entire time, and then I just take on the shock troopers, and they only do physical attacks, which is when stance comes in handy, because that's a counter stance. So when you have that sword raised and you're holding guard, then that's when you counterattack. And you take a little bit of damage, but you just do a ton back and a lot of stagger damage. And stagger is really useful against these guys because if they don't get staggered, they just keep wailing on you like this. And they also dodge a lot of attacks too. So when you stagger, they can't dodge attacks.
Sorry. Is that it?
Do you have to time that parry, or is it just
Nope.
as long as it's up and they swing?
It's
just
automatic.
That's
So
nice.
as long as you get the time to get into the stance first, just hold guard.
Lost time.
Yep. Suck at hitting the triangle button. At this point, it's pretty much a free run to the end. There's nothing else to really do.
So when do we call time? Because I know that's a very traditional thing in speedruns.
It's the last action that you have to do in order to finish that level.
Okay, so what is that in this, I
That's
guess?
when you get to Jesse's legs right here. That's it.
Time. Well, that was a quick view of what it's like to kind of speedrun FF7 remake demo. Max, that was awesome. As you mentioned, this is just one of your better runs. It's obviously, like you said, you're not a pro speedrunner, but you like doing it in your spare time.
Yeah, I just like watching other people's speedruns and like trying to do it myself and seeing what new tech comes out.
Yeah. And if you have tech that you think is better or Max didn't do, put those in the comments below. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.